Happy early Christmas! Guess what? It's been over a year since I've done an updated houseplant tour. So we're gonna do that, but first, I've got to show you my ugly Christmas sweater. Check this out. Picked this up at the Goodwill. I don't know if it's from the 70s or the 80s. Can any of you help me out with that? So here we are checking out our Sansivira, and beside it we have ZZ plants, and of course I have Christmas bulbs down in there, although they somewhat look like Easter eggs. I think the Sansivira has grown a lot since the last video. Speaking of Sansivira, check out our large Sansivira. It's doing really great as well, and also decked out for Christmas. Let me bring you in a little closer. Okay, let's move on to another plant. Here we have our cactus, dressed in ornaments, ready for Christmas. We have a new growth point, which is right here. Oops, I touched it. And of course, we have our terrarium. Inside, a fuzzy wandering Jew plant and a little tiny hidden chicks. Below, a cutting of an arrowhead vine. It's doing really well. And now you are seeing Pothos. I love me some Pothos. My friend Sarah gave me some cuttings and I put them in some water, which I know I showed you in a previous video, how they rooted so well. I potted them up and here you are, beautiful. Back behind we have our Philodendron. Do you see that? It has grown so much since I first showed you. And hanging here on the wall is a Pothos plant that I potted up as a gift. And the container it's in, I actually took a can and I hammered some holes in the bottom for drainage and painted the can white. Do you spy with your little eyes a Skindaptis Pictus? Oh my gosh, okay. So here is a better view of the Skindaptis Pictus. I moved it so you could see it. It is starting to trail, which makes me very happy. It's grown rather quickly in a short amount of time. If you saw it in the original Houseplant Tour video, I think you will be just as pleased with it as I am. Up ahead, we have coming at you the plant that doesn't do anything, but I love it so much. This, as I told you once before, is an original Christmas cactus. It's almost Christmas and we don't have flowers. But that's okay. Next up, I will show you our Euphorbia right here. It's not really done a whole lot. However, I did put a few little cacti starts in here and they are taking off well. Now you can see our rubber tree, and we have some new growth on here and here. And looky here, beautiful. We have new growth. This plant is a variety of a Chinese evergreen. And another ZZ plant. We have new growth, and you can see it really well in this plant because this variety of ZZ is a darker version, and the new growth comes in a lime color hue. And yes, I have some Christmas bulbs in there. I put some cuttings in this flower pot, cuttings of Pothos and cuttings of Philodendron, and they're very happy together here. And then our alocasia mask plant up ahead. A peace lily with, of course, some ornaments down inside the flower pot. Janet Craig plant has remained small. I'm convinced that this is probably as big as it's gonna get. Had this for several years, and I have another one at work. Actually, I have a lot of plants at work. And here we have another Pothos. I showed you a repotting of this Pothos. It was my mother's, and it's more than 20 years old. And the cuttings have grown so well. From personal experience, I've learned the best way to care for a Pothos is don't overwater it. Simple as that. Speaking of, you don't want to overwater a cactus either. And that's what lives inside this tea kettle. And there's Santa. That is an ornament from the 80s. Do you guys put ornaments in your flower pots, or am I the only one that does that? So we have a ZZ plant right here. Another Sansivira in the center, and to the right of that, a Pilea. And then this plant, it's actually an outdoor perennial here in zone 6B, and I've heard it referred to as a creeping Charlie or a creeping Jenny, but my neighbor, he gave me a cutting of it, and I've had it growing inside just in this plastic cup with soil, and I keep the soil pretty moist, and it's doing great. If it continues to grow at this pace, I will probably keep it as an indoor houseplant and then put some outside come spring. Living inside a trash can is this beautiful ZZ plant. And we have some new growth in here as well. Looky! Do you see it? Right down here. And I have to show you what this trash can is setting on. This is crazy, but I picked up a plant stand and painted it. It was wood. I painted it white, and then I put the white trash can on top of it to create this ensemble just so I could have the ZZ plant next to a window to get some nice indirect light. And since doing that, we have new growth. So I'm so pleased. Our Monstera has red and silver Christmas bulbs in its flower pot. Beside it, I am trying an experiment with an outdoor elephant ear bulb. I had the plant growing outside the summer, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring it in and just keep it in a container with moist soil and see what happens. The other bulb I brought in, I put inside an empty cereal box, and I was told that the elephant ear bulb will be ready to go in the soil come spring. So I am very excited to see how that goes. Up ahead, you are seeing our large Dracaena plants, and it's happy here with its tinsel and Christmas ornaments hanging from it. And then back here, we have a variety of Sansivira. I will put the name on the screen. In the center of our dining room table sits a goldfish plant. It's grown a whole lot since you last saw it. Wandering Jew plant and some pothos that live in this flower pot. Beside that, we have 2 flower pots that are both terracotta. The largest contains, you guessed it, more pothos. And then right here is a cutting that I water propagated from the dark ZZ plant that you saw at the beginning of this video. It's so deep green that it's almost black in hue. And I had never water propagated a ZZ plant and truly didn't even know that it was possible. But I did that in the spring and it rooted up and voila, here we are. So happy that that experiment went well. And wait till you see these. I know I showed them to you before, but these are the little cacti that I grew from seeds, and I'm just so proud of them. In the wall pocket, we have another Sansivira. I just think wall pockets are so fun. Do you have any? Over here we have arrowhead vine in this terracotta flower pot. I don't know what type of variety this is, but this is an outdoor perennial that I brought in, and it has lived for probably 3 months at least in water. Check out those roots. It's right here in the windowsill, and I change the water about every week. And more pothos. And then right here, can you see that? Pilea. This plant I purchased at the grocery store for just a couple dollars. I think it was less than $4. And I brought it home and repotted in terracotta, and it's doing great. And then this is a Hoya. I'm not sure what variety of Hoya. And back here, this is a goldfish plant. And I have a light underneath my cabinet, and I paid $5 for it online. And that is what I call a grow light. It just gives these plants a lot of bright light during the winter months, and they have really vibrant green tone, and I think that having this light on them is what I can credit that to. Well, that concludes my houseplant tour. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, and thanks so much for watching. Take care, and until next time, God bless and bye-bye.